Hey guys, Brady here with your daily tennis lessons. So we're looking at the idea of depth this week, and today we're here at the net. We're going to look at how to incorporate a little more depth on your volleys. And we did a video earlier in the week, and I talked briefly about the 4 pillars of good shots, from the ground strokes up to the volleys, and those are consistency, depth, placement, and power. Around the net, it is really common to see people obviously think about consistency, wanting to make the volley. People get very caught up on their volleys with placement, a lot of times wanting to hit the sidelines, hit the shot that they just don't think their opponent can get to. And the big culprit a lot of times is people wanting power on their volleys, being close to the net and feeling like, all right, I'm going to end this rally and I'm going to power my volleys. And I said this about the baseline, and I'll say it about the net. I think depth is the biggest deterrent for your opponent playing good tennis. It is really tough for a player back there, if you're landing the ball within 3 feet of the baseline, for them to put comfortable strokes consistently on their shots. So we got to talk about how to get better depth on our volleys, and we've got 3 things we got to discuss here. The first being racket angle. Obviously, as all of you know, if we're not in continental grip, we can't play great at the net. So we got to do that. Get that racket angle slightly open. All right, so if you look, I'm going to kind of run the gamut here of racket angle on the volley. All right, so if I go wide open, it's continental and it's wide open, obviously that ball's got too much depth. It's going to take off, go upward, and go out. All right. But the issue I see is that really shut racket angle, where the wrist gets a little involved, the racket angle ends up closing, and we don't get any depth, and we almost always miss that shot into the net, okay? So, continental grip, slightly open through contact, is what's going to produce a ball that takes off upward and gets to the back of the court. This is just essential for you guys to land the ball in the second half of the court, if not the back third. Now, secondly, grip pressure, and that's not something that you guys can really see me doing on the grip, but it's super important to understand that grip pressure plays a key role in the ball getting back in the court, all right? And 2 factors that Mark kind of is involved with here is how much pace is he giving me, or how little pace is he giving me. The grip pressure that I should have on the racket, if I want depth on my volley, has to be tight if Mark does not give me a lot of pace. Okay, so let's have a look at that. He feeds the ball kind of soft. I've got to squeeze that grip on the racket to provide enough force on the ball to get it to move decently out there. Okay, now if he gives me pace, rips a ball at me, and I squeeze the grip the same, now I'm going to probably hit it too far. So I'm going to absorb his pace a little more by loosening my grip, and the ball should still travel nice and deep, again, simply because that racket angle is pretty open. All right, you can see that's within a step or 2 of the baseline right there, and I very lightly held my grip, okay? One thing to tie onto that, when pace comes at you guys from the net, a lot of times it makes you nervous. And with nerves comes tension. And now we're squeezing the grip too tight against pace. We're going to miss a lot of those volleys. So you guys have to welcome that pace. Let it relax you. Let that hand relax so you absorb that faster ball. All right, so if we knock those 2 ideas off our checklist, racket angle, and then grip pressure, using the right grip pressure at the right time, we can then incorporate a little more of a follow through. And this would usually be more when Mark has not given me a lot of pace. But we discussed this with the backhand slice earlier in the week. When I'm dealing with more of a slice shot, which the volley is, if I exaggerate my finish, really lengthen it out, it's going to move the ball deeper in the court. If I shorten my finish, it's going to knock the ball down quicker. Okay, so when I'm not seeing a lot of pace from Mark and I want to get the ball way into the back of the court, I'm going to extend that finish way out there. Let's see it on the forehand, Mark. And you guys can see that arm is way out there extended, still maintaining that nice open racket angle. It's just a great recipe there to work the ball back in the court. And that is now when a shorter volley becomes a real weapon, because my opponent respects that I can hit 2, 3, 4 balls deep in the court. They stay back on my volleys, and now I can play around with something that drops short and I get them caught, okay? All right, so until next time, please click like below this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so, as well as check down below me in the description of this video. You're going to find the link to 3 free courses that Mark and I have put together. I think you'll find those great as well. All right, so be well, and we'll see you soon.